Right, everyone. So if I can't get excited about this, I don't think I can get excited about anything. Boing! Squigs. I love squigs. I love them. I love them. I love them. I love them. There is nothing about the Gloom Spike Gits that I don't love with a passion. Um, they are so awesome. And we have got ourselves a nice sprue of things that go boing and then bite your head off. In fact, they probably wouldn't even waste the time biting the head. They would just swallow you whole. We're going to have a look at that sprue in a little bit because it's got squigs. I love squigs. Squigs are amazing little creatures. I love them to bits. Anyway, let's go from there, shall we? Ooh, it's been a long day. Okay, so what does it tell us about here? The interesting is, although this has got the Boingrot bounders, it's actually a Larial by the look of it on the front cover. And if we kind of move through this, we actually have Alariel the Everqueen being described. Now, I find Alariel very interesting. Now, one thing I find interesting is she's got these kind of very grim carrion wings within the Age of Sigmar, but the character she's based off from the old world, I always recall her having butterfly wings. Now, that suggests to me that this is a darker and crueler version of her. I mean, I gather that she was always like a kind of no love for the evil creatures of the world and anyone who would trespass upon the woods. But more than that, I think because of the way that the Sylvaneth are described, Alariel is bitter about the destruction of the forests of the old world. And, she's, coming to this new world. She's retreated into a soul pod for a very long time, only to come out and again more like a Sylvaneth. And you really get that feeling from looking at the artwork of her, the different types of artwork of her, that she's become more ethereal. And yeah, I feel like there's a cold cruelty to her now because of it. It's interesting to look into that kind of thing. And as I said, I think it is very yeah. Oh yeah. Now here's a more of a colour picture of her. You see, and you can see that those wings are made of leaves. And so yeah, definitely very much the Sylvaneth style of her. And as I said, it's so strange to think of her like that because I swear her old model, and by the way, it wasn't exactly a lovely. I mean, I'm not dissing the model because I'm, obviously there's no way I'd have been able to make anything that good. But of course, when you look back on it with older eyes, it's quite. I remember it being. It's probably disproportionate. Anyway, I recall it having butterfly wings. I swear, it wasn't called the Lariel. It was Ariel, I think. I think it was literally called Ariel, and would have had butterfly wings. So that change from being a like a fae, but like and designed to be like beautiful in all ways, to become more like twisted, I suppose, is quite an interesting interesting change. Anyway, stuff like there's a story, Nature's Gambit Part 2. I found that quite interesting, the Part 1, so it's nice to see that story's carrying on now, and we're going to be able to find out what's going on basically with that story. And that's one of these where I think I always find it very strange when the models are one thing and the lore is another thing. You know, like we've got the Boingrots, but then all the lore is about the Sylvaneth. Sometimes I don't know how decisions are made, but I do kind of wonder, you know, why we're getting sort of a mismatch of lore and model. Because wouldn't it be nice to actually learn, have had, I don't know, it's very, I can't, obviously it must be difficult to edit these kind of magazines and create them all, and get, you know, almost impossible to get the models to always match the lore. But I always find it quite interesting, the idea of having, like, you know, a very clear set of miniatures and then the opposing faction being described in detail. Boingrot Bounders, just talking about the units themselves, you know, we get that quite a lot, don't we? Those kind of discussions about the units and their traits. How to build. Gosh, these look like they're going to be a pain to build. I'm actually not looking forward to building these. They look like they're in so many pieces. Oh my goodness. I think the reason I'm not looking forward to it is because after putting together something ridiculously like 100 skeletons, I think I've lost the will to do anything. Honestly, I think that many skeletons and now Bretonians, and now I think just the thought of building more models has made my head melt down. But I've got to do it. Okay. Of course, how to paint, because we need to know how to paint them. I'm not going to do my squigs red. I'm going to do something else. I don't know what yet. But red squigs are definitely, you know, the way things are. Yeah, the traditional colour of squigs. All the way back from the first time that I saw a squig, red has been their colour. Our war scroll for them and our next battle plan, which again we've got the, you know, we've got the Boingrots right in there. We've got the let's have a look. We've got the Stormcasts particularly coming back, you know, to take centre. We've got our kill boss coming back, and then we've got quite a large map deployment for the battle plan. Ride M down to be precise. I feel like I've left my camera too high up at the moment. Other than that, I'm just slowly sinking in from exhaustion. Yeah, so again, we have like quite an interesting little issue there. And as for the heroes of the day, our wonderful Boingrots. Now, there are 5 apparently. So, the best way I can think about doing this is to count how many faces we might have here. And I think we've got more faces than we've kind of got bodies. So that says to me we have some options. I like that because as someone who loves squigs and wants 2 sets of them, I want to have a bit of variety between my units. On top of that, having these spare means that for my 40k orcs, I might be able to use these squigs for something on there like conversion in the future. So I like that idea as well. As you can see, they're beautiful, these guys. I mean, hopefully you can see. You've got our kind of, you know, we seem to have quite a lot of faces for the squigs, so I think there's more faces definitely than there are bodies. That suggests we've got options. And then the actual gobbos themselves that desperately try and hold on to these as they bounce around. Now looking at this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So I'm counting 11 different arms, but that would be like, so let's have a think here. Yeah, so I think what we have is we've got quite a lot of choices as well about possibly how these are kitted out, and I hope that's the case as well. I'll have to have a good look at the sprue and see, but it does feel like we've got some options about the arms that we use. So I'll see how that goes as well when we start putting them together. But so far, I love my gobbos. Yeah, I love gobbos. Any kind of gobbo, any kind of grot, love. And there we have it. We've got our wonderful point grot bounders. And obviously I love this issue because of that. Even though the actual lore itself doesn't match the models, which I'm finding a bit weird at the moment. Anyway, there we go then. So that's all sorted now. Anyway, we're happy. We've got ourselves some bouncy squigs. Please like and subscribe, and I will see you for issue 49.